Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So guys, let's continue with our discussion on contract costing. And the conceptual part we have covered a lot, right? We have discussed about the contract account and the various elements in the contract account. In the last lecture, we discussed about the notional profit, right? So the four parts that I told you that we are going to study the contract account in, we have already covered all the four parts, right? Material, labor, overheads. Then we discussed about plant and machinery. Then we discussed about work in progress, and then we discussed about the notional profit, right? So we have covered all the four parts for the contract account. Notional profit part, as I told you in the last lecture also, that it is not applicable for CA intermediate new course students, but I have covered it because we have the other students also, like CMA students are there, UPSC, BCom, MCom students are there. So we have covered for those people, right? Now, what we are going to do in this lecture is we are going to cover the practical part of contract costing. Then we will discuss some of the conceptual parts are left, like the estimated profit is there, then escalation clause, right? We'll keep covering. The first we'll be doing the practical part of contract costing, right? So guys, do subscribe to the channel, otherwise we are going to stop the series, right? Very simple. If you people are not going to share the videos, if you people are not going to subscribe to the channel, you are watching the videos without subscribing, that's what we have seen, right, from the analysis. So there is no fun that we should be investing time in you people, right? There is no fun of wasting my time in that. I'm investing so many hours for you people to provide free of cost content, right? I can invest this time somewhere else and I can earn there. So there is no fun if you people are not going to share. I've seen nobody, very few people are who are actually sharing on various platforms. They send me the screenshots that, sir, we have shared your lectures with these people. On the Telegram, though, sir, there is something different going on. In most of the groups where we are not doing the ads, they have absolutely, written KSJ teaching in the block words. Whenever someone takes the name, I have the screenshots with me where a person who took the name of KSJ teaching, he was immediately muted after that. I have the screenshots. I will show you one day, don't worry. Right, so there is all that, I can say something going on in the Telegram which is fake. They tell people that we are helping you guys, and that is only for minting money, not for helping. Okay, anyways. Let's start with the practical part on contract costing. Question number 1 we have. Now this seems to be a very small question, right? If as a layman you will say, sir, it's a very small, must be a very simple question. But these kind of simpler questions have been asked in the recent attempts. This kind of a question, this question number 1 was asked in July 2021 attempt for 5 marks, new course. Similar question. Right? So nothing is easy, nothing is difficult. Anything and everything can be asked in the examination. That is what you have to always keep in mind. Let's start with question number 1. The following was the expenditure on a contract for rupees 12 lakh. That is, this is your contract price. Commenced in January. Right, sir? Materials 2,40,000, wages 3,28,000, plant 40,000, overhead 17,200, Cash received on account of contract up to 31st of December was 4,80,000. Now this is the amount of cash received, being 80% of the work certified. Now whatever we have received, this 4,80,000, it is 80% of the work certified. Clear? The value of materials in hand was 20,000. The plant had undergone 20% depreciation. Prepare the contract account. Now this seems to be very simple, right? Expenditure is given to you, materials given, wages given, plant given, overheads given. So you will write it as such, no issues in that, right? I'll show you the solution here now. This is our solution number 1. To material 2,40,000 given to you, to wages 3,28,000 given to you, right? Plant is given as 40,000. This is the original value of the plant, right? 40,000 given as plant. Overhead 17,200. right? After that, it is given cash received is 4,80,000 being 80% of work certified. Now, just tell me, do we take cash received 4,80,000 in the contract account? You have already studied the contract account. Open the handbooks, page 11.6. Do you take cash received in the contract account, sir? No? Then what do you take in the contract account? We have to take work certified in the contract account, but the work certified is not given to us. Then how you can calculate? How you can calculate the work certified, sir? Work certified is not given to you. Okay, material at site is given to you as 20,000. We'll come to work certified later on. Then he says plant at site 32,000. How this has been calculated? Read the question. He says the plant had undergone 20% depreciation. So this is what? This is my WDV of the plant. Right? How this has been calculated? This is, sir, 40,000 minus 80% of 40,000. Right? This part is what? This is your depreciation. Any doubts? This is your depreciation that you have charged. Right? So material at site, it is given to you. Now come to work certified. He says that you have cash received. You have cash received. That is 4,80,000. Right? You have cash received, that is 4,80,000. Now this cash received is 80% of my work certified. So I will say let work certified be X. Let work certified be X. So that means cash received is 80% of X. 80% of X. Any doubts? It is given in the question that cash received is 80% of work certified. So if I say I don't have the value of work certified, I'll say let work certified be X. So cash received is equal to 80% of X. Right? So cash received value is given to me 4,80,000. From this I can say 80% of X is equal to 4,80,000. Anybody having doubt in this thing? 80% of X is equal to 4,80,000. So you will get the value of X from here. 4,80,000 divided by 80%, that comes to 6 lakh rupees. So what is my X? X is nothing but work certified. Right? X is nothing but work certified only. So my work certified is 6 lakh rupees. 6 lakh. Work uncertifieds are not mentioned in the question. Right? If it is mentioned in the question, we'll do it accordingly. So from here you will get the notional profit, that is 26,800 is your notional profit. Clear? Any doubts? Right, sir? Now, this is the question for CA intermediate students, right? Up till notional profit. Now, if you want to identify that what percentage of notional profits will be transferred to profit and loss account and what percentage will be taken to the WIP reserve, then how you will do? Sir, first you will calculate the percentage of work certified to contract price, right? Your work certified is 6 lakh rupees, right? And your contract price is how much? 12 lakh. So can you tell me the percentage of work certified to contract price? That is 6 lakh divided by 12 lakh multiplied by 100. So this is 50%. So accordingly you will apply the rules that where it is 50%, what you have to do is, right, 2/3 of notional profit. Notional profit you have calculated 26,800 multiplied by cash received divided by work certified. Cash received you have 4,80,000, right? Work certified you have 6 lakh, right? Notional profit you have 26,800. So you can calculate the value from here. The value that you are going to calculate will be transferred to profit and loss account and the rest of the value will be taken to WIP reserve, right? CA intermediate NUCO students, they don't have to do this part. right? For them, the question will end on the notional profit, and the entire notional profit, that is 26,800, will be transferred to profit and loss account. Clear? So for those people, nothing to be done, sir. Entire amount will be transferred to profit and loss account. Now, another point here, sir, plant 40,000 and plant at site 32,000. The alternative way of presenting it, what we have done is we have taken the original value of plant, that is 40,000, and we have written the WDV 32,000. That means from these 2 points, what we have done is we have booked the depreciation. Sir, can we directly write here to depreciation 8,000? Instead of writing these 2 points, can we directly write depreciation 8,000? Yes, you can write depreciation 8,000 directly, no issues on that. Clear? So even if you don't write the original value and the WDV, you can write to depreciation 8,000 rupees. Your answer will be correct. Nobody can cross it, because the ultimate aim of writing the original value and WDV is depreciation only. So you can write directly depreciation also. That is your choice, right? But what I will suggest is you should write the original value and WDV. The better presentation for contract account. The proper presentation for contract account, I can say, right? So you must write it. Clear, sir? How the notional profit will be transferred to P&L account in the WIP reserve, that also I have told you that how it is to be done. Any problems with this question? Question number 1, it was a very simple question, but yes, can be asked for 5 marks. Right, sir. Now come to question number 3. Sir, what about question number 2? We'll come to later on. We'll come to question number 2 later on. Let's see. Pioneer Construction Company obtained a contract for the erection of a multi-story building. Building operations started in July. The contract price was 9 lakh rupees. On 30th of June, the end of the financial year, the cash received on account was 3,60,000, being 80% of the amount of the surveyor certificate. Right, this is work certified. Again, he has not given the value of work certified directly, but he has given cash received, and he says it is 80% of the work certified, right? The following additional information is given. Material issued to contract 1,80,000. Materials on hand at site. This is the closing value of material. This is what? This is my closing balance, closing value of material, right? 7,500. Wages 2,46,600. Plant purchased specifically for the contract and to be depreciated at 10% per annum, 30,000. This is the value of the plant, and the depreciation to be charged for the year is 10%. Direct expenses incurred is given, general overheads is given, work finished but not yet certified. This is my work uncertified. This is what? This is work uncertified. 15,000. You are required to prepare contract account and statement showing the profit on the contract to 30th June. Right? Indicating what proportion of the profit the company would be justified in taking to the credit of profit and loss account. Show what entries in respect of contract would appear in the balance sheet. So we have discussed about the balance sheet also in the last lecture. Right? I told you that in case of a contract account, it will always be an extract of balance sheet, right? It is not necessary that your asset and liability side will match. No, sir, it will not match, because this is just an extract of balance sheet. It is not a complete balance sheet that we are making, right? So the expenditure is given, material is given, material on hand is given, wages, plant, depreciation, direct expenses, work uncertified. Work certified, now you can calculate. Right, you are given cash received 3,60,000 and it is given that it is 80% of work certified. So now in this case, what will be your work certified? Your work certified will be 3,60,000 divided by 80%. Any doubts? So you can easily calculate the work certified. See, this is how the information will be given in the examination, because what institute is expecting is the conceptual clarity, and that is the problem, sir. We do not have the conceptual clarity. Right, the contract price. Now just listen to one very important thing here. Very important. Sir, whenever you are doing the question of contract costing, always mark two things in the question. Always mark two things in the question, right? The first thing is that you have to mark, write it down. The first thing that you have to always underline in the question is, the first is date of start of contract. Date of start of contract. And second thing that you have to always see is closing date of the financial year. Closing date of financial year. Sir, why we have to look at these two dates? What is the relevance? For example, let's say my start date, the contract started on 1st of April 21, right? And my financial year closes on 31st of March 22, right? This is complete 1 year. So whenever you are going to charge some of the expenditures like depreciation, I am taking an example of depreciation, there might be some other expenditure also. The depreciation on plant you will calculate for 1 year, no issues. Right, this is my first case. Now come to the second case. Say my contract started on 1st of July 21. My financial year closes on which date? My financial year closes on 31st of March 22. Now, what is the period that you have covered in this 21-22? 9 months. Right? In this year, in this financial year, the contract has not run for 1 year. The contract was started on 1st of July 21 and we are closing the books on 31st of March 22. Now in this case, tell me, if you have to charge depreciation, you will charge depreciation for how many for how many months? You will charge it for 1 year. Will you charge the depreciation for 1 year? Sir, how can you charge it for 1 year when the contract has just run for 9 months? So the depreciation will be charged for 9 months. Right? Similarly, there can be other expenditure also. The depreciation is one example, one very common example that I have taken. So always mark these two dates when your contract is starting, right, and when you are closing your books. These two dates are very, very important. The first thing that you have to do when you are reading the contract costing question is mark these two dates. This is very important for you people, because a very common mistake that you people commit. It will be given that contract started on 1st of July and the books are closing on 31st of December. That means 6 months, right? But what we are used to take is, we will take it for the complete year. Depreciation complete year. Sir, the contract has run for 6 months and you are going to charge depreciation for complete year. How is it possible? Right? So remember these small things, that what you have to mark in the examination when you are reading the question. Right? These things will immediately strike your mind whenever you are doing the contract costing question in the examination. The first thing that will strike your mind is, sir told us that you have to mark these two dates, right? Now, in this question, he says, in this question number 3, he says the contract started in July. Started in July. So we are not given which July, sir, 1st of July, 15th of July, 31st of July. So in case this information is given, we will always assume it is the beginning of month. Right? We will always assume it as beginning of month. That is, we are going to we are starting this project on 1st of July. Right? And he says the other information that is given is for the 30th June. Now 1st of July to 30th of June next year. That means this information is for complete 1 year. Right? This information is for complete 1 year. So nothing to worry about it, sir. If it is for the 1 year, then good to go. Nothing to worry about it. But if it is for less than 1 year, then you have to be very, very, very careful with this thing. Right? Let's see the solution, sir. This is solution number 3. Now you're given the expenditure. Material is given to you 1,80,000, wages 2,46,600. Plant is given to you as 30,000, right? And he says you have to depreciate the plant by 10% for the year. So this is here WDV, we will take it as 27,000. Any doubts? Direct expenses 12,900. Journal overheads are given. Material at site is given. Work certified, work uncertified is given to you, and work certified, this 4,50,000. How this is calculated? 3,60,000. This is my cash received, right? This is my cash received divided by 80% as given in the question, that cash received is 80% of work certified. Clear? So from here what you will get is notional profit of 22,400. Now if you are a CA intermediate student, what you will do is you will take entire notional profit. You will write here by notional profit 22,400, and you will write here to profit and loss account 22,400, right? Your question ends here if you are a CA intermediate new course student. But if you are not a CA intermediate new course student, then what you will do is you will have to calculate this figure. You will have to calculate what amount will be transferred to P&L and what amount will be transferred to WIP reserve. Now this will depend upon what? For this, again what you will do is you will calculate percentage of work certified to contract price. How you will calculate? Work certified is 4,50,000. Right? What is my contract price? Sir, the contract price is 9 lakh rupees. 9 lakh multiplied by 100. Again it is 50%. Right? So what you will do is you will apply the rules of 50%. I'll show you where it is. Open page 11.5 in the books. Right? Right? So if it is equal to or more than, that is why I told you that it is very important where it is equal to sign and where it is not equal to sign. See, less than 50% this category, but if it is equal to 50% or more than 50% then this category, right? So that means now it is 50%. So how you will calculate this is 2/3 of notional profit multiplied by cash received divided by work certified. So 2/3 multiplied by notional profit 22,400 multiplied by cash received 3,60,000 divided by work certified, that is 4,50,000. Sir, why we take cash received? Because to the tune of cash receipt only we can book the profits, right? Because that is the actual amount that we have received. The remaining amount that we have not received yet, how can we say that we have earned profits on that amount? No, we cannot. Until and unless we receive the profits, and until unless we receive the cash from that, right? So it is cash received by work certified. Any doubts? So accordingly you will take the figure in the profit and loss account as per this calculation, whatever you get here, right? And the remaining will be taken to WIP reserve. Clear, sir? Next is, he is asking for the extract of balance sheet. See, in the balance sheet, what you will take on the liability side, you will simply take notional profit of 22,500, or what you will take is profit and loss account. You will write here profit and loss account 22,400. Or if you are not a, this is if you are a CA intermediate student, this is the first option. The second option is what you will write here, P&L account, whatever is the figure, WIP reserve, right? Whatever is the figure. Clear? This is for the students who are not CA intermediate new course student. This is for the CA intermediate new course students that you have to write it. P&L account 22,400, or you can directly write notional profit 22,400. Then on the asset side, what we have is, we have the material at site. This is again my asset, my plant at site 27,000. Whatever WIP is there, 4,65,000. This is again my asset, sir. This is work in progress. Cash received 3,60,000. Cash in bank balances, right? So all these things you will take in the balance sheet. It is not necessary your balance will match. No, it will not match, because it is just an extract of balance sheet. It is not a complete balance sheet in itself. Clear, sir? Any doubts in this thing up till this point? I hope the question is clear. Very simple question, only few things. Again, in this question, again you can write it as, here you can write directly to depreciation 3000. That is also correct. But yes, again I will say that it is always better to write the full value of plant and then write the WDV of the plant at site. That is the best option, I can say. Any doubts in this thing? Right? So these small things are very important. This thing, the start date and the financial year date, because we are going to do the questions where this date will be different, right? It will not be a 1 year completion. That is why I have alerted you in advance that, sir, these things will happen, so be careful. Just make a habit that whenever you are doing a contract costing question, you have to mark these two dates, right? It should immediately strike in your mind that we have to mark these two dates. Very, very, very important, right? So we are done with question number 1 and question number 3. Sir, are you not going to do question number 2? We will do question number 2. Don't worry about it. We'll do it in the next lecture now, right? And question number 4 is there. If you people want to try, you can try question number 4 once. Right, you must try. I will do it in the lectures, don't worry about it. In the next lecture, we are going to take up question number 2 and question number 4. Both are very good questions. Question number 2 is a very good question and one of the most expected questions in the examination, right? So that is why I'm going to take up in the next lecture. And question number 4, I am giving you as homework. You must try it, right? At least try once. I will do it in the next lecture, don't worry about it, right? And these question files, these are available on our Android mobile app. You can get it from there, and the handbooks, which are a must for all the upcoming lectures, I will say, because some of the things I will not show, but I will read it from the handbooks itself, right? I will be covering some things from the handbooks. So you must have the handbooks before you move on to the next lectures. That you can get it from our website, that is ksjteaching.org. Right, sir? So question number 2, question number 4 we'll take up in the next lecture, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.